out what to put in the blank spots. Netflix, there was this prize that they actually started in 2006. They gave out training site with 100 million ratings of 18,000 movies generated by 480,000 users. And they found a winner in 2009, so it took them more than 2 years to beat the previous algorithm by 10%. And the winners combined more than 800 different algorithms. So the initial 5% were easy, and then just to get to this required 10% that you had to be cinematic, it took them a long time, and it took a lot of effort.
More math and more.
Yeah, and even more math for the last 0.1 digits. So it's a huge world. I mean, yeah. And yeah, if you are interested in these kind of things, there is a series that is run by the data mining special interest group of the ACM. It's usually, I believe, the first or second Monday each month. It's for free in the LinkedIn offices.
We'll post the link on our website.
Yeah, so they usually have someone come and give a talk of what he's currently doing. And yeah, so that's about it. So I hope you got an idea that what you can all do with it and how sophisticated it can be,
So we can
and
open,
what you need to be careful about.
we can open the floor for the questions. Any questions you have?
Did you participate in the Netflix challenge at all, or were you working with anyone who are familiar?
No.
I knew a couple of teams.
Yeah. I participated in a KDB club at one point, but not Netflix.
To what extent has the accessibility of tools like Google Analytics changed the landscape for kind of the big firms that were focused on this in the past?
I think for the big firms, Google Analytics is not so relevant in a way because they all have their own data centers, or not necessarily their own data centers, but their own data collections. For like medium-sized businesses, it definitely helps. I think what is really important is just computer power. I mean, you have the capabilities of storing tremendous amounts of data at a reasonable price, and nowadays computers are powerful enough to actually also do something with a lot of data.
Any other questions?
What statistical tools do you use?
So, real statistical tools what we typically use was SPSS or R, and otherwise, I mean, if you do data mining, Python's probably what you use as a language.
I have a question about the early days. You said the pre-Google. You said the early days you were placing advertisements based on surveys.
We used the surveys to figure out what our users really were. So, because if you look at log files, if you don't have a login, I mean, you know how many visitors you get, but you don't know anything about his gender, his age. Maybe you can guess, but you don't know for sure. And you don't know anything about his values. So for that we definitely had to use it, and even for the login services, we knew that we had a lot of crap entries. So
But you said despite of, because there could be a lot of, untruthful answers and a lot of bias, a lot of assumptions.
Yeah.
But you said despite that, the advertisement results for Dove and Mars was still successful?
But that was after we'd run the big survey online. So we decided that what we have in our database already is not usable to really profile our user base. And then we ran those surveys, and we combined that data with the information that we had about how many visitors we have. So we got information like we have X% of our users on the dating platform are female between 25 and 45, and we know that we have Y users, so you can calculate how many this is in real numbers.
But the only thing is you don't know if that's authentic or not, right? Because it's only survey based.
Yes, but it's for sure more authentic than what we had in our database. And I mean, it's the same in a way as when you do televisions. I mean, you can ask the people who are sitting in front of your television if they really sit there, you don't know.
There is a story about one family in the Nielsen, back when there was a Nielsen box on top of the set.
Yeah.
And they just left their television tuned to PBS all day, public broadcasting.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have online community of students. So they had the question you mentioned about Lycos. Do you know why Lycos is no longer the search engine people use?
I mean, Google for a long time was just really good. I mean, their technology was completely different. Their way of ranking the search results and what they got as results was really relevant. I mean, I don't know how many of you remember that. Usually when you did an internet search, you would go to Lycos, to Alta Vista, to Yahoo, and you would go, it was normal, you go to several places and just to figure out some results. And with Google, you suddenly went to Google and you got the results. And you didn't need to go somewhere else, so they were really much better.
You ever use Dogpile?
No.
It submits your search query to a dozen different search engines.
Oh
Video
yeah,
results
yeah.
from each of them.
So there were meta search. Yeah.
Any other questions? Right, thank you very much. You will be having more.
I did have one more question. This is a delicate one. Are you willing to make your PowerPoint slides available for those of us who couldn't take notes fast enough?
Sure. I mean, they're anyway
If we
available.
promise not to take your act on the road.
That will cost you keys to the test, A/B testing. You have to do more math.
Yeah, sure.
So we'll be having more distinguished speakers in the series, and thank you very much for attending. Thank you.
Thank you for watching the CALMAT Distinguished Speaker Series. For more information, visit calmat.us or find us on Facebook.